Welcome back to the English Speaking Podcast, the podcast that helps you improve your English through slow, clear, and natural conversations. In today's episode, we're talking about self-discipline, what it really is, why it's more important than motivation, and how you can build it step by step. Whether you're trying to stick to a habit, stop procrastinating, or learn English more consistently, this episode will give you practical ideas you can use right away. Let's dive in.
So we've all been there, haven't we? That moment where you absolutely know what you should be doing.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's hitting the gym or tackling that big report, or maybe just getting your finances sorted.
Right, the intention is there.
Exactly. But you can't seem to make yourself do it. And this gap, it's not about being weak-willed, is it?
No, not at all. It's actually a really fascinating mix of psychology, biology, and, those habits we don't even realize we have.
Okay. So today we're looking at some really interesting research and insights about self-discipline. We want to figure out what it really takes to build habits that stick. Yeah, habits that don't just depend on feeling motivated, because we all know how fleeting that can be.
Right. So we'll explore why it's such a struggle for so many of us and hopefully arm you with some practical strategies, things based on behavioral science that you can actually use.
To help you live life more intentionally, by design rather than by default.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. What is self-discipline, really?
Well, at its heart, it's about acting based on your thoughts, your long-term goals, not just how you feel in the moment. It means you lean into that resistance, you take action even when you don't feel like it. All for your future happiness, success, maybe even financial health.
So doing what you said you'd do, despite the temptations or just feeling lazy.
Precisely. It's about honoring those commitments you made to yourself.
Okay, so it's knowing versus feeling. That makes a lot of sense. But how is that different from self-control? People often use those terms together.
Yeah, they do. But there's a subtle difference that researchers point out. Self-discipline is that consistent, proactive action, taking the steps. Self-control is more like won't power. It's about refraining from something, resisting immediate gratification.
Ah, okay, like saying, I won't order dessert.
Exactly. Or I won't check my phone right now. It's defensive. It's useful in the moment, for sure. But self-discipline is the bigger picture. It's the offensive strategy of consistently choosing actions that align with where you want to go.
That's a really useful distinction, defensive versus offensive. Okay, so if self-discipline is this consistent, often difficult thing, why prioritize it over motivation? Motivation feels good when we have it.
It does. But it's notoriously unreliable, isn't it? It comes and goes.
It definitely plays hide and seek.
Right. So you can't build consistency on something so shaky. Think about it. If you only act when you feel motivated, you're kind of stuck waiting for the right feeling.
Yeah, which might never come when you actually need it.
Exactly. With discipline, you know what needs doing, so you just do it, whether you feel like it or not. Whether you feel like it or not, it's not a place you arrive at like, okay, I'm disciplined now. It's more like building muscle, or even like hunger. It needs constant attention, ongoing maintenance, a continuous process.
Viewing it as a practice, not a destination. That changes things. It makes it feel less like a personality trait and more like a skill you develop.
And when you develop it, it's almost like gaining a superpower. Seriously. It enables those big positive changes we all want. Exercising regularly, eating healthier, meditating, writing consistently, getting finances under control.
And the flip side is true too, right? A lack of it, well, that causes real problems.
Oh, absolutely. Health issues, constant distraction, procrastination cycles, money troubles, even clutter, and just that background hum of anxiety. It really is foundational.
So why is it so hard? If it's so important, why do so many of us struggle?
Well, there are quite a few factors. One big one is what's called novelty-seeking behavior.
Okay.
Our brains kind of crave excitement, surprises, that little adrenaline hit.
Yeah.
This can make us impulsive, always jumping to the next shiny thing, changing goals constantly.
So it's hard to stick with one thing long enough to build discipline if you're always chasing something new.
Exactly. And related to that is commitment aversion. Some people just really dislike feeling tied down by plans or schedules. They want that feeling of freedom.
Even if that freedom means not actually achieving much.
Sometimes, yeah. And then there's the shiny object syndrome, amplified by, with social media notifications, constantly refreshing, thriving in a bit of chaos rather than focused work.
I can see that. What else gets in the way?
Another big one is simply being unaware of our own bad habits. We might set positive goals like, I want to wake up early.
Approach-oriented goals, you mean?
Yes, but we don't consciously set avoidance-oriented goals, like I want to avoid feeling sluggish all morning, or I want to avoid having this project hanging over my head.
Interesting. So thinking about what you don't want can actually be motivating.
Sometimes, very much so. Fear of the negative consequences can be a powerful driver. Also, we're just wired to avoid bad feelings.
The path of least resistance?
Absolutely. Humans seek instant gratification. We avoid things that feel hard, overwhelming, or just plain uncomfortable. Why suffer now when scrolling Instagram feels easy?
Yeah, that immediate reward is tempting. And overwhelm. That's a big one for me. Tasks just seem too huge.
Very common. It paralyzes you. And it can be tied to perfectionism. If I can't do it perfectly, I won't do it at all. Or feeling helpless, or just trying to do way too much at once.
Or just plain boredom, right? If a task feels pointless.
Your brain checks out. Exactly.
Well,
and don't forget fear. Fear of failure is obvious, especially for perfectionists afraid of mistakes. But sometimes it's even fear of success.
how does that work?
It sounds strange, but success brings change, expectations, maybe more responsibility. Some people subconsciously sabotage themselves to avoid that.
Wow, okay. And you mentioned something earlier, projection bias.
Ah, yes, projection bias. It's a fascinating cognitive bias. Basically, we tend to overestimate how much our future selves will feel like our current selves.
So if I feel motivated today, I assume I'll feel motivated next week.
Precisely. Or if you're not craving something now, you underestimate how strong that craving will be later. It leads us to ignore the long-term impact of bad habits or put off important decisions.
It's like keeping that expensive gym membership because future me will definitely go.
Exactly. Or delaying getting help for an addiction because right now you feel strong. It's a form of self-deception, really, believing our current state is permanent.
That sounds like a really tough cycle to break. Okay, so knowing all these challenges, how do we actually start building self-discipline? What's step one?
The very first step, and it's often skipped, is getting crystal clear on your vision. Set what some call a BHAG up, a big, hairy, audacious goal. You need to know exactly what discipline looks like for you. Waking up at 6 a.m., saying no to donuts, running 3 times a week, what is it? And crucially, why does it matter deeply to you?
So define the what's and the why. Make it specific and meaningful.
Yes, and the audacious part is important too. Aiming high forces you to think differently, even if you don't quite hit the target. As Larry Page said, it's hard to fail completely at something ambitious.
I like that. Connect it to a bigger purpose. Maybe try this. Get an index card. Write down one big goal, and on the back, really spell out why you're committed to it. Keep it visible.
Great practical exercise. But a big goal alone isn't enough, is it? You need to actually start moving.
Right. It can still feel overwhelming.
Which brings us to strategy number 2. Build tiny habits. This comes from work by people like BHAG. The idea is to start with actions so incredibly easy, so small, that you literally cannot say no.
Like, how small?
Like one push-up, or drinking one glass of water, or working on your taxes for just 5 minutes. It sounds almost laughable.
It does seem a bit silly. One push-up.
But that's the point. Motivation is unreliable. So you make the first step ridiculously simple. It's not about the push-up itself. Initially, it's about building momentum and reinforcing your identity. You become someone who does push-ups, even if it's just one.
Ah, so it gets the ball rolling. And often, once you start, you might do more anyway.
Very often, yes.
Yeah.
The hardest part is starting. Tiny habits overcome that barrier.
Okay, tiny habits. I get it. Now, what about when you're in the moment? That urge hits to quit, to check your phone, to grab a snack instead of working.
Right, that internal battle. This leads to strategy 3. Practice mindfulness with urges. Become an observer of your own impulses.
An observer. How?
Notice the urge when it arises. Recognize that pattern. There's that feeling of wanting to procrastinate. But then realize you don't have to act on it. It's just a feeling, a thought. It will pass.
So acknowledge it without obeying it.
Exactly. A practical technique is to set a timer for your task, say 25 minutes. During that time, you have 2 choices. Do the task or do absolutely nothing. Just sit there.
No scrolling, no tidying, nothing.
Nothing. You'll often find that boredom pushes you back to the task. But the key is developing that awareness around the urge. It helps you understand your patterns and clarifies what you really want.
That takes practice, I imagine. It's so easy to just react automatically.
It does. It's a mental muscle.
Yeah.
But it's incredibly powerful once you develop it.
Okay. So we've got tiny habits to start, mindfulness for the urges. What about our surroundings? Does the environment matter?
Hugely. Strategy number 4 is remove roadblocks and eliminate friction by creating a supportive environment. You have to set yourself up for success.
Make it easy to do the right thing.
And hard to do the wrong thing. Research shows people who think they have strong willpower often fail when tempted because they underestimate these environmental triggers.
So don't rely on willpower alone. Change the environment.
Right. Use if-in plans. If I feel tempted to browse websites while writing, then I will turn on my Focus app. Simple, specific plans for likely obstacles.
Pre-deciding your response.
Exactly. And physically remove friction. Lay out your gym clothes the night before. Have your healthy lunch prepped. Prepare your workspace. Remove temptations. Hide the cookies. Turn off notifications. Make the desired action the path of least resistance.
Shape your defaults. I like that. Okay, so we're building habits, managing urges, setting up our environment. How do we make this sustainable?
That's where strategy 5 comes in. Create systems. Develop consistent processes and routines for your important activities.
Like a morning routine, or a specific way you tackle writing projects.
Yes, a system for preparing, a system for working out, a system for handling email. Systems reduce decision fatigue. You don't have to figure out how to start each time.
So instead of staring at a blank page for a huge report.
Your system might be: Step 1, gather all notes. Step 2, create an outline.
Yeah.
Step 3, draft section 1. It breaks it down and makes starting easier.
And these systems, they should be consistent, but maybe adaptable.
Exactly. You can tweak them as you learn what works, but the core process should be non-negotiable. They provide structure for your discipline.
Okay, systems provide the tracks. Now, let's go a bit deeper. What about the psychological side? Dealing with discomfort.
Yes, this is crucial. Strategy 6 is to engage in discomfort training. We're wired to avoid discomfort, but growth happens outside the comfort zone.
So lean into the hard stuff.
A little at a time.
Yeah.
Instead of running from tasks that feel difficult or uncomfortable, intentionally push into that feeling just a bit. Realize that discomfort isn't fatal. It's temporary, and the results on the other side are worth it.
Build tolerance for discomfort.
Exactly. And another powerful psychological lever is strategy 7. Utilize loss aversion.
Loss aversion, that's the idea that we hate losing more than we like winning, right?
Precisely. We're more motivated to avoid a loss than to achieve an equivalent gain. So you can harness this.
Yeah.
Create negative consequences for failing to stick to your plan. For example, give a friend 20 pounds, and they only give it back if you complete your workouts for the week. If you miss one, they keep it.
Ouch, that could work.
Or vividly visualize the potential losses if you don't act. What health problems might arise? What financial opportunities will you miss? Make the cost of inaction feel real.
Okay, using psychology against itself, in a way. What about the positive side?
Absolute critical.
Yeah.
Strategy number 8 is to foster self-love and identity-based discipline. This reframes everything.
How so?
Instead of seeing discipline as punishment or deprivation, view it as an act of profound self-care and self-respect. Ask yourself, would I want someone I love, like my child, to treat their body or mind this way when you're tempted by an unhealthy habit?
That's a powerful question.
It shifts the focus from what I have to do, which feels like a chore, to who do I want to be?
Identity. We talked about that with tiny habits.
It's the foundation. When you build an identity, I am a healthy person, I am a writer, I am someone who finishes things, acting against that identity causes psychological pain. That pain often outweighs the short-term pleasure of giving in.
So you align your actions with your desired identity. It becomes less of a battle.
Much less. It feels like you're simply being who you are.
That feels sustainable. Okay, any other big strategies?
Yes, a couple more that are really impactful. Number 9, focus on others.
How does focusing on others build self-discipline?
Sometimes, doing something just for yourself isn't motivating enough. But if you frame your work, your exercise, your efforts as being for someone else, your family, your community, a cause you believe in, that external motivation can be incredibly powerful.
Finding a deeper why that goes beyond just personal gain.
Exactly. It taps into different motivational circuits. And number 10, embrace victories in both success and failure.
Okay, success is easy to embrace. Failure.
Failure just means you tried. You learned something. That is a victory. Don't let mistakes derail you completely. See them as data, as feedback.
Learn and adjust.
Right. Apply the never miss twice rule. If you slip up one day, miss a workout, eat the cake, fine. It happens. Just get right back on track the very next day. Don't let one mistake become 2, then 3.
Don't let it snowball. Okay.
Right.
What if someone is really struggling, feeling alone in this?
That's number 11. Seek support. You're absolutely not alone in this. Talk to friends, family, find online communities, maybe even a coach. Accountability partners can be huge.
Sharing the struggle helps.
Immensely. It builds connection. And just knowing someone else is aware of your goals can make a big difference.
Okay, good advice. What about trying to do too much at once? Can that backfire?
Definitely. Which leads to strategy 12. Manage willpower depletion and focus on one project at a time. Willpower is like a muscle. It gets tired.
It's finite.
Yes. You use it for resisting temptations, making decisions, focusing attention. If you try to overhaul your diet, start exercising, quit smoking, and reorganize your house all at once,
You'll burn out fast.
you'll deplete your willpower quickly and likely fail at all of them. Pick one main priority for self-improvement at a time. Build success there, then add another. And be mindful of things that drain willpower unnecessarily early in the day.
Okay, focus is key. What about the fundamentals like sleep?
Absolutely fundamental. Strategy 13. Establish a consistent sleep schedule. Good, consistent sleep impacts everything. Cognitive function, mood, energy, motivation. It's non-negotiable.
Any quick tips for that?
Set a target wake-up time and stick to it, even on weekends initially. Get out of bed immediately, get some daylight exposure, eat breakfast, avoid long naps. Crucially, stop screens an hour or so before bed, and try to go to bed around the same time each night.
Consistency again. It keeps coming back to that.
It really does. And number 14, utilize journaling and habit tracking.
How does journaling help with discipline?
Things like bullet journaling can act like a free life coach. You track what you actually do each day, gives you honest feedback. You can color-code activities, green for positive ones, red for negative.
So you see the patterns visually.
Exactly. And habit trackers, even just a simple checklist, give you that satisfying sense of progress. Ticking off that box reinforces the behavior.
That little dopamine hit from checking the box. Which brings us to dopamine itself. You mentioned it earlier.
Yes, strategy 15 is understand dopamine's role. This is really important in our modern world. We're constantly exposed to super stimuli.
Like
Excessive TV, endless internet scrolling, super sugary processed foods, immersive video games, things that give our brains an unnaturally high dopamine hit without much effort.
And that's bad.
Over time, it can actually reduce the number of dopamine receptors in your brain. Your brain adapts to the constant flood. This makes normal, effortful activities feel less rewarding.
So it literally makes it harder to feel motivated for things like exercise or focused work.
Yes, it lowers baseline motivation, concentration, mental sharpness. It contributes to procrastination and even feeling unhappy. The solution is to consciously lessen exposure to those high dopamine, low-value activities.
A sort of dopamine detox.
You could call it that. It helps reset your brain's reward system so that natural, healthy activities feel enjoyable again. It's about distinguishing pleasure activities, high dopamine, no growth from enjoyable activities.
And enjoyable activities.
They provide dopamine and lead to growth. Think learning a skill, having a great conversation, creating something, exercising. These can lead to that state of flow.
Flow state. That's when you're totally absorbed in something.
Exactly. Skill meets challenge. You're fully focused, time disappears. That's where deep satisfaction and growth happen, far beyond the temporary buzz of passive pleasure. Filling your life with more of those activities is a key part of sustainable discipline.
Wow. We've covered a huge amount of ground here, from what discipline is, why it's hard, to a whole toolkit of strategies. So, bringing it all together, what's the final thought for someone listening?
Well, I think the main thing is that self-discipline isn't this massive one-time hurdle you have to clear. It's not like, okay, I'm disciplined now forever.
Right. It's not a destination you reach.
Exactly. It's an ongoing journey. It's a practice.
So you have your whole life to take these small steps, and every single one, no matter how tiny it feels, that one push-up, that 5 minutes of focus, saying no just once it counts, it's part of building that path toward the life you want to live. The key is just to start and then keep going, one deliberate choice after another. Thanks for listening to the English Speaking Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a like, leave a comment, and share it with someone else learning English. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss new episodes that help you learn real, spoken English through useful, everyday topics. Until next time, keep listening, keep learning, and keep speaking English with confidence. Take care and see you in the next one.